Hello and welcome to the Gary Dunn Show for September 23rd, 2025. I'm your host, Gary Smith. On today's show, we'll take a look back at this past Saturday's action against Lock Haven. We'll look at what is going on around the PSAC, and we will look ahead to this coming week's opponent, the Slippery Rock Rock. And Coach, another great weekend of Vulcan football and another great weekend to be outside. I mean, just gorgeous fall weather. But it was great to see, a good turnout, and your team came out and treated the fans to a red out in the new red jerseys and the new red uniforms, and a great effort on Saturday against Lock Haven.
Yeah, color rush uniforms. My daughter said they look like the dilly bar, the cherry dilly bar at Dairy Queen. But no, good afternoon at Addison Stadium. Anytime we can play in front of our home fans and our alumni and our families is a good deal, and I was happy with the way we started the game. When you come out, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, score on 4 straight possessions, and we were efficient, we were executing. That's kind of who we want to grow to be offensively. We're not there yet, but I thought we took a step in the right direction on Saturday.
Well, definitely coming out on Saturday, your team came out. The first 2 weeks, back and forth games, took a while to establish everything. But this game, from the opening kickoff to opening series, I mean, you guys went down and then scored on the first possession there, and a beautifully designed touchdown pass. I mean, I think I could have got that pass within 10 yards as wide open as the receiver was on that play.
Yeah, one started off with kickoff return. I thought, special teams-wise, I thought we carried the day again. We charted our special teams, and it's either green or red on the board at our team meeting on Monday, and we were all green in all phases of special teams, which the kickoff return got us to the plus 40. Had a nice job on the kickoff return and got a first down. And we knew after our first down we were going to take a shot. Coach Salisbury did a great job of dialing that play up all week, something that we worked on. And the guys executed it really well. The tight end had a nice block, and the quarterback did a good job, and Jeff got open. So it was a good start, and to get an explosive play, I think that's one of the things that we're lacking offensively right now is kind of some explosive plays. To get one on the board early was a great way to start.
I know a buzzword a lot of coaches use are for their offense, getting in rhythm, getting in tempo, and it seemed like your offense on Saturday was in rhythm, was in tempo, never seemed like behind the sticks, never seemed like there was a big play taken back by a penalty or anything like that. And that's got to be good to see as we're moving into the meat of the season, that team's starting to get that, that rhythm.
Yeah, we had talked a week ago that we met on our Monday meeting after the Westchester game. We had a cut up of 15 or 18 plays where we just didn't execute and we killed ourselves, whether it was a bad step here or a false start here or a bad read here, just things that Westchester didn't control, things that we can control, we didn't do 2 weeks ago. I thought we did a better job of that this week, of being about our details and our assignments and focusing on doing our job. Very efficient offensively. I think we're extremely balanced. I think when I looked at it, we had 1 more yard passing than we had rushing. So it was good balance, and the guys executed better. Now I think Lock Haven is going to win some football games in the East. I just thought we executed really well. We made some plays when we had to, and we were very efficient offensively. But we got a long way to go. I think we can continue to create splash plays. I think we can continue to throw the ball better down the field than we're doing right now. I'm pleased with the diversity in the run game. We've got a bunch of different guys carrying it for a bunch of yards, but we've got to get the vertical passing game better and continue to get better on third downs. I thought we took a step in the right direction. I forget what we were on third downs, maybe 5 of 8, but we've got to be better on third downs.
Well, you talk about balance. Roman Purcell, 14 of 25, 140 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. And then Bobby Boyd, 11 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like you said, pretty much, and I know every coach going back to Bingo football wants that kind of balance.
Yeah,
then you work on time of possession and you control the game.
Absolutely, but balance within the balance is we're diversifying our run game with some different guys carrying the ball, and then I couldn't tell you how many receivers we had catch balls on Saturday. I know Day caught some. I know Amir caught some. I know Keandre caught a few. We had good diversity in the pass game as well, where teams can't try and take one or two guys away. We're spreading the ball around, and I think we'll continue to get better in that phase.
And in fact, it was 9 different receivers catching balls for three touchdowns. So that's a good ratio.
We're a good team that I've mentioned the stats, and you know them. We had just talked about how on Tuesday I've moved on to 2 days of slippery rock, so I can't remember the exact stats, but I appreciate you picking me up.
Well, the problem always is if I can read my handwriting. Currently, my printer is lost somewhere on the network. So that'll be a Halloween mystery. Maybe we can solve finding Gary's printer. But on the other side of the ball, again, defensively, Lexi Sandster, another outstanding performance. 8 tackles, another interception. Three straight weeks with a pick, twice to end the game. This time to end a drive. You got to like that kind of explosive play from the backside of your defense.
Yeah, Lexi's doing good, and he's finding a way to do his job. It was actually, I'm going to pick on Lexi for a minute. The one touchdown we did give up on the end of the half was the same play almost that he picked off. Mm-hmm. One time he did it right, one time he did it wrong. So, it's a good learning lesson for our guys that if you do what you're supposed to do, the ball's going to find you. If you don't do what you do, then the ball's going to find Lockhaven for a touchdown. But I thought our defense played really well to only give up 6 points. And then we immediately blocked the PAT to kind of snatch a little bit of momentum back. They had scored getting ready to go into the half, and I think there was 30 or 40 seconds left to block the PAT kind of okay. And that's who we want to be. If we make a bad play, no big deal. Let's play the next play to come right back and block the PAT was a nice play for us. But our defense is playing well. I thought we communicated better. I thought we were more about our assignments. The front four continues to get pressure, which is good. We brought some blitzes that didn't get home early, but got home as the game went on, and we did a good job against the run game.
And 4 sacks for the team and several tackles for loss. And like you mentioned, you took the words out of my mouth. The front 7 is just continuing to wreak havoc, because anytime we're seeing as a director, I'm calling for the close-ups, and you're just seeing your front 7 just 3 or 4 guys getting up on the bottom of the pile before the ball gets up.
Yeah, we're playing a lot of guys up there. I think you're going to see some more young guys continue to contribute. We've got a lot of guys reps this weekend. Dylan Ayers is a linebacker that we're very high on that missed part of training camp. So really, when you miss 2 weeks of training camp, it's hard to get into the mix afterwards. We're playing some young outside linebackers. I thought Ricariel flashed a little bit as a backup outside linebacker. Kamar Parlot is starting to come along. So the more guys we get involved in our defense, I think our defensive staff does a great job of finding roles and packages. Taven Willis had a big interception. Return for a touchdown. He's kind of starting to come along and get more reps. He played on a lot of special teams for us. So, it's good to see more guys contributing. I think Taven's going to be a really good football player for us. Was happy to see him get a pick 6, and we need more guys to continue to develop.
Oh, that pick 6, we were watching from the press box. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, he can run a little bit.
I was saying he might have to find a gadget play for him every once in a while with that speed.
I agree, and doing a good job. We created a couple turnovers, which was nice. We blocked the field goal, we blocked the PAT, so some splash plays on defense is what we need. So, but we're not there yet. We got to continue to grow, and this week our preparation is going to be. Our barometer on how we're going to play. If we prepare well, we'll have a chance to play well. If we don't, we won't. That's just the way it goes.
And we'll talk about the upcoming Slippery Rock game after this break. We're going to take a look back at the highlights from this past weekend's action against Lockhaven. After break, we'll break down everything that happened in the PSAC and everything coming up this weekend. You're watching The Gary Dunn Show right here on CTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network.
Purcell rolling, airing out wide open down the field. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Jeff Nyamiki wide open. Man in motion again. Handoff this time to Boyd, and Boyd is going to muscle his way into the end zone for the touchdown. California will take a 2-score lead. Is Purcell under center. This time hands it off to Boyd. Boyd able to break the tackle and falls into the end zone for the touchdown. Third down and 10. Ostrowski with some time airing it out. Intercepted over the middle of the field. On the return, Taven Willis all the way back into the end zone for the touchdown. Pick 6 for Taven Willis. 2nd and 6, pass caught by Spencer, and he's got all room. Touchdown for the Vulcans.
End zone shot, intercepted. Who else? Alexi Sangster Jr. His 3rd in 3 consecutive games. Caden Bauer to attempt a field goal, and it's blocked and picked up by California on the return. Number 22, Marvell Cromedy. Hill's gonna take it, looks for DeShields, and he has the catch for the touchdown. DeAndre DeShields.
Fall is back and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinburgh. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
University Players presents Evening of Creativity Fall. Come to this night of one-act plays and the Chuckle Club Improv Trope, featuring Cryptid Counseling by Brent Winzek and Castro Shot by Brian Karpinski. Admission is free! Shows are Friday, September 27th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, September 28th at 2 p.m.
What's up, Vulcan Nation? My name is Marie Samara, and we're at the Cal U Tailgate. Come with me, and we're going to ask some tailgaters some questions. All right, Radcliffe family, do you want to show me around your tailgate?
Absolutely. We have our wonderful chairs
Very nice chairs. I like them.
set up. We decided on some charcuterie today with some meats, cheeses. Gotta have the buffalo chicken dip.
Looks like you have a favorite football player. Who is he, and where does he play?
All right, this is Grant. He's number 15, and he's a middle linebacker.
All right, and then do you have a favorite football player as well?
I do. Keith Charney.
All right, do you want to show me your awesome tailgate over here?
Yep, this is our awesome tailgate. We got food, we got drinks in the cooler, we got all this stuff.
And what's your favorite tailgate food?
Probably like that dip right there.
Do you want to show off your awesome tailgate?
We sure do. We have 3 separate families here. We have hoagies, cheese crackers, and pepperoni. We have a variety of snacks, including pretzels, nacho dips, scoops, and Doritos. Lovely game accessories to go with all the food. We have Dunkin' Donuts, and we have some egg bites, which include egg, sausage, and cheese. And in addition, I would like to point out our wonderful display of pom-poms, which are my pom-poms from high school, I might add.
Can you please show me your amazing tailgate over here?
Come with me. So there's stuff behind us. We'll walk right past that. We have a little Wawa pretzel spread here. Looks like a little buffalo chicken dip and some Tostitos, some homemade pepperoni rolls, mini sausage and cheese biscuits and mini chicken biscuits. Here we have Italian sliders and ham and cheese sliders. Obviously, the little charcuterie board with the mustards, and a whole chip display for the tailgate today.
What is your go-to tailgate food?
We like hot dogs grilled, burnt a little bit, with lots of goodies on the side and chips.
Awesome, me too. Do you have a differing tailgate food or are you the same?
Nope, I'm the same. I like the bad stuff. The donuts and cookies, that's my favorite.
All of the best stuff. How about you, Mike?
I'll go with the hot dogs and maybe some kielbasa next time.
All right, Sophia, since you've been shadowing me today, you have been getting lots of tailgate food. What was your favorite that you've had?
Someone had a cupcake that tasted like fall. It had a leaf on it, and it had apples and cinnamon and all kinds of stuff, and it was delicious.
All right, thank you for joining me today at the tailgates. My name is Marie Samara, and as always, go Vulcans!
Welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show. Right there before the break, you saw highlights from last year's game with Slippery Rock. But before then, Coach, we had a chance to send out a new member of our crew out to the parking lot for the tailgates to see what people were enjoying. And I tell you what, I mean, we might have to get there a little early to enjoy some of these tailgates. I mean, it was like a 5-star Michelin restaurants out there.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive. I'd like to, after the game, maybe, I can't go before, but maybe afterwards they can put a little to the side for me and I can stop by it afterwards. But no, great crowd at Adamson. You know, I think it's become a festive atmosphere. You know, I love that our families tailgate together and enjoy each other. So it's, you know, we got to continue to grow that.
And that's something I did notice in the package is, you know, people are like, oh, we have 2 or 3 families here at this tailgate, 2 or 3 families here at this tailgate. And I did solve the mystery. When my crew gets there, they always are like, we forgot something back in the parking lot. So
they're out there fishing.
Yeah,
for food.
so we're, you can feed, it's like, you know, Yogi Bear. You only feed them one thing in the crew. So, but before we talk about what's going to happen this weekend and everything with Slippery Rock, let's take a look back and put a bow around this past weekend's action in the PSAC. The scoreboard, second weekend of crossover play, see California 42, Lock Haven 6, Shepherd 38, Clarion 51, Bloomsburg defeating Edinburgh, Slippery Rock defeating Shippensburg, 42-0. Kutztown over Gannon 46-7, Westchester 34, Seton Hill 16, and then IEP 70 and Millersville 24. We'll take a quick look at the PSAC standings. Again, no conference or no divisional play yet, so just an idea of what's going on. And then looking at the national rankings, there was no change, I think, in the top 12 or 13. See things starting to settle down everywhere. And Coach, as we turn the corner, there's, you know, best time of year. We're getting into divisional play. Maybe one of the biggest games in the country this week, top 10 matchup between California and Slippery Rock. And, you know, every week or every year we talk about divisional foes. We know them. You know, you see them all the time, but last year Slippery Rock played twice. So I know you've been watching film religiously for the past 48 hours. We'll start breaking down them first. What do they do on offense?
Yeah, they're balanced. You know, I think it starts with them. Their tailback's very explosive. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. They're averaging, I believe, 33 points a game, but really balanced, like 182 on the ground, and you know, so really balanced offense. Quarterback's a mobile guy that can run. They've got some experience up front, but I think it starts with their running game. You know, I believe they're running for 182 yards a game. It establishes everything for them. They're running the quarterback a little bit, kind of similar to what we're doing offensively. Tailback's extremely shifty, running over 100 yards a game. Hard to put a good hit on him. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but really elusive and really shifty. So, you know, our defense is going to have to play well. You know, I think once they get the running game going and some of the things that they do off of the running game create some problems. But an explosive offense that's, you know, averaging 33 points a game right now.
And last week, or this past weekend against Shippensburg, the quarterback, they went on with 16 of 27, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns, spread it around to 8 different receivers. And then you mentioned their running game, J.J. Jordan, 11 rushes for 102 yards.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I watched a little bit of that game on Saturday, and that was one of the things that looked very explosive and similar.
Explosive offense, explosive skill guys. I think they've got some young receivers. They're kind of like us right now, spreading the ball around. You know, I think their leading receiver may have 5 or 6 catches, but you've got a bunch of guys that have 5 or 6 catches. So we're going to have to defend the 53 and a third. We're going to have to defend the whole field, and we're going to have to eliminate the explosive plays. For years and years around here, you know, Slippery Rock, it really creates momentum off explosive plays on both sides of the ball. So that's got to be a key for us, that we're not going to give up the explosives.
And looking on the other side of the ball this past weekend, Their defense forced 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles. But what kind of schemes do they have, and has their scheme changed a lot since last year?
No, they're going to be who they are. They believe in what they do. They've been doing it great for years. I don't blame them. They're giving up 13 points a game. I think it kind of starts. They got 2 big kids inside at interior D-line. I think their inside linebackers are really the strength. Number 0 is a really good player. They're going to, number 17, the one defensive end's a really twitchy, fast pass rusher. They're just solid across the board. I think, they're going to play what they play. They're going to have a plan for us. Their whole deal is stop the run, get you in a 3rd and long, and then bring a blitz package that has given us problems in the years past. So we're going to have to execute, stay in front of the chains. I forget how many sacks they have. I want to say maybe 13 or 14 sacks. So when they get you in those long down and distance, they're going to pin their ears back, and they're going to bring a nice blitz package and twist guys around. And so we've got to do a good job against that.
And we talked about the offense and defense, and of course, in big games and close games, so many times special teams is a factor. What do they look like on special teams?
Yeah, they're just solid. They're going to do what they do. They've got some explosive returners that we're going to have to. Our cover teams are going to have to do well. I think right before I came over, I was watching their punt return team. They're going to do a nice job of bringing pressure and trying to block you up. So we've got to be detailed there. They probably run their field goal and PAT team a little bit different than anybody we've seen. So I'm sure they're going to work on that against us because we have been fortunate enough to block some kicks. Our guys are playing with great effort on that. So we're going to have to win the special teams battle. We talk to our guys all the time about how important and how much time we put into special teams. And in the last 2 weeks, it's been a real big difference for us, to win every phase of special teams. Has been good. I'm happy with our return teams right now. I think we've got some explosive kids on the back end, and we're doing a good job of blocking. When you start off a game last week, getting a 50-some yard return to get to set the field possession right away is a big deal. So we're going to need to be, cued into special teams, and we can't give up any explosives there.
And one of the more interesting things is, Coach, we haven't had to say it in over 300 days, but it's a road game. Do you guys remember how to get on the bus and go north?
I am a nervous wreck right now. It was Friday. We got a new bus company that we're using, and Friday I had contacted, emailed them, and didn't hear back. I panicked Monday morning. We haven't been on the road. I'm excited. I'm excited to get our guys off campus and be able to spend some time together as a family. But it's going to be different. I know we've talked about it a couple times, and I actually got Bruce Wald, our former SID, looking into it. If any college football team has ever played 10 straight home games from one year to the next, it's been a great ride. I wish we were at Adamson Stadium again, but we're going to go up to an extremely tough place to play. Their record at home is really impressive. So we got to go. We got to be ready to play.
And we only half joke about that, but people don't realize it's like moving a small army.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just. I mean, everybody's ridden buses in their high school career and everything like that, but until you've done it the first time, it's different. And
you got your filmers, you got your trainers, you got your equipment staff. It's not just. It's not high school getting on a bus and traveling over. It's you're taking your whole operation on the road. We're fortunate here that we have the resources to travel well. We treat our guys well on the road. So I'm excited to get this bunch on the road.
Well, before we put a bow on this week and get Coach's pitch for Vulcan Nation to go up I-79, let's take a look at the rest of the schedule in the PSAC. Again, this is the first weekend of divisional play. Of course, the top of the schedule right there, the highlight game, California at Slippery Rock, 6 p.m. And then a slate of games at noon, IUP at Seton Hill, Westchester at Millersville, Kutztown at Shepherd, Clarion at Edinburgh, and then 2 1 o'clock games, East Stroudsburg at Lock Haven and Bloomsburg at Shippensburg. But, Coach, 6 o'clock game, so you've already played a 6 o'clock game, so timing is all there. And, don't know what the weather's going to be like, but tell Vulcan Nation what to do, how to get there.
Short drive up 79, right? I'm sure that my wife and daughter will be stopping at the Grove City Tanger outlets. Okay. So you can make a little shop. If your wife doesn't want to go to the game, you say, hey, well, why don't I take you to the outlet mall?
Smart.
Right? So, but It'll be a good crowd. Every time we travel up there, I know I'm excited. Our marching band is going with us. I believe our cheerleaders are going with us. It's a great regional rivalry. And so come on up, short drive up 79, stop at the outlet malls and say hello to my wife and daughter there because I guarantee they're going to be there. And then shoot over to the game for a 6 o'clock start.
And kind of distract them to protect coaches' credit card. Don't want to make,
If we could limit the spending, that would be encouraged.
The game this weekend will be on PSAC Digital Network. Slippery Rock has a regional cable company going to do the game, so you can watch that. We'll have the highlights next week. And before we leave, Coach, we were talking a little bit off air. Prediction for the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup this weekend at Bethpage National. It's always going to be close, but who's your pick?
Well, you got to go with USA on home turf. Right, excited. Me and you are both big golf fans. You're probably a better golfer than me, although you won't play with me.
It's like the Seinfeld episode. I choose not to run.
Excited to hopefully get to catch some of the Ryder Cup. We were just talking about it where I had to figure out my password to stream it just so I can keep the scoreboard on and on Sundays when we're in here getting ready for our next game. But what a great day for sports. I know you got some good college football games. The Steelers are going to Ireland. You got the Ryder Cup, man. This is a big weekend for sports, no bigger than us heading to Slippery Rock.
Yeah, so start the weekend with PSAC action and hopefully end the weekend with the Steelers win and the U.S. win of the Ryder Cup. But for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. Again, don't forget, Saturday, 6 o'clock at Slippery Rock. Get up there, Vulcan Nation. Let's make it like Addison North out I-79.
Let's turn it red and black.
So for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you next week on The Gary Dunn Show.